we begin the final Amud in Berakhos, the Perek Ches, chapter 8. Berakhos chapter 8. This is the final Amud. The last page is Berakhos Nun Gimel Amud Beis, 53b. And this is a unique Amud in that we are going to start right from the first word on the Amud and go all the way to the very last word in the Amud, and that's where we're going to stop. It just creates a neat starting point and very neat stopping point. The neatest stopping point right at the end of a Perek. So we begin with the beginning of the Amud right at the first word. And the first thing the Gemara does, it quotes from the Mishnah, as the Mishnah says, back 2 dafim ago for Amudim before, on 51b. It says, Ve'ein mevarchen al haner, we don't make a bracha on a candle for Havdalah purposes, ad she'ausu le'oro, until you derive some kind of benefit from the light of the candle. And the Gemara is now going to analyze this part of the Mishnah. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Rav Yehuda said in the name of Rav, Lo ya'usu mamish. So it does not mean that ya'usu does not mean that you have to really derive pleasure from it, literally yourself. Ella kol she'ilu amad bikarov. But it refers to any flame which, if you stood close to the candle, umishtamish la'ora, then you could use its light. It's bright enough that if you were to stand, let's say, within a few feet of the candle, it had enough light to give you some benefit. Va'afilu berachok makom. Even if the person himself is standing very far away, too far to actually derive benefit himself, nevertheless, he can make a bracha on such a candle. V'chein amar Rav Ashi. And Rav Ashi said the same thing. Berachok makom shaninu. We're talking about a person who's quite far away. Even though he himself can't benefit from the candle has to be possible to have benefit derived from it. That is the entire halachic requirement. So, Meisvei, the Gemara challenges this from another brisa. Haisa lo ner tmuna becheko o bepanas. If a person had a candle which was hidden in his either in his lap or in some kind of lamp which was entirely covered, o shira shel heves, or if he saw a flame and did not use its light, or he used its light but could not see the actual flame. In all these cases, he does not make a bracha until what? Until ad until he both sees the flame and can use its light. So now that brisa already challenges the assumption that you didn't need to derive benefit from the flame; you just needed to see it. But nevertheless, before we get into how to resolve that problem, the Gemara is going to analyze this brisa for a second. So, Bishlama mishtamish la'ora v'lo shel havetz. I understand how it's possible to use fire when you can't see the flame. Why? Mishkachat you can. Such a thing is possible. The kaima b'keren zavis. If the light is around a corner of a building, so I'm standing on one side of a building, and on the other side, I can't see around the corner. There's a big flame, and I can't see the fire, but I can see the light coming off the fire. In such a case, that's possible to see the light, but not see the actual fire. Ella ra shall have a but in a case where you can see the flame, but you do not derive benefit from the light, heichi mishkachasla. So how do you find that? Lav dimerchaka. Isn't that talking about a case where you're too far away? Clearly, it must be. It must be the Mishnah, the brisa here is talking about a case where you can see the fire, but you don't get benefit from it because you're too far away, and that would refute what Rav Yehuda just said in the name of Rav, that you can be so far away, and even if you yourself don't benefit from the light, if someone can benefit from it, you can make a bracha on it. Clearly, this brisa is refuting that. So, not the case. That's not what the brisa meant by saying we're talking about a flame which we can see but do not derive benefit from it. So what was the brisa talking about? Kigon de amya va'azla. It's a flame that's going kind of in and out and kind of going smaller and bigger. So you're standing very close to the flame, and but even at from such close proximity, you still can't derive benefit from it because the flame is simply too small, or is flickering in and out. It's too small to derive benefit from it. Such a flame you cannot make a bracha on. It needs to be big enough to have benefit from. And even according to this brisa, it's possible that a person could be standing far away from a flame where one could derive benefit from it and make a bracha on it. Okay. Now the Gemara is going to go on into similar halachos of brachos on certain things, certain kinds of fires or flames or coals, as we're going to see. Tanar Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Gechalim lochshos mivarchinan aleihem. If there are glowing coals, you can make a bracha on it. But omamos ein mivarchin alav. But if they're dying coals, you cannot make a bracha on those coals. So hechidami lochshos. So what are lochshos? What are those coals which you call lochshos? Amar Rav Chizda. Rav Chizda says, and he gives the following definition: Kol she'ilu machnis letocham kisam. Any kind of coals where if you put a twig on them, v'delekes me'elaha, then that twig would be able to catch fire from those coals. So some coals are still sufficiently has sufficient fire in them to light a twig, and those are called lochshos. So ibayalahu. It was asked a question. Again, who asked this question? Where did they ask it? Not so clear, but nevertheless, the question was asked. Omamos, omamos, with the ayin. So are we, is the word omamos or omamos with an ayin, aleph or ayin? So Tashma, come in here, here's the answer. Damar Rav Chizda bar Rav Dimi, Rav Chizda bar Rav Dimi said, Arazim lo amamahu began Elohim. That the arazim, the cedars, lo amamahu, did not diminish it in the garden of Hashem. So this is a pasuk from Yechezkel, talking about the, I believe the Kazdim or one of the nations around Israel. I forget exactly which one, but he was giving a lot of praise to this nation, and he said, "Arazim, the arazim of that nation, lo amamuhu began Elohim. They're not diminished by comparison with any of the trees in the Gan." In a Gan of Elohim and of Gan Eden. And then that pasuk ends by saying, Kol eitz began Elohim, all the trees of Gan Elohim, lo dama elav biyafia. Do not diminish or do not compare to the trees of this country in its beauty. So Rashi explains on this from pasuk ches, lo amamuhu. What does that word mean with the ayin, amamuhu? Lo kahu ta'aro. Could not compare their image. Kulomar, meaning to say, lo haya bahem echad na'a bimenu. There wasn't any of them which were more beautiful than these trees. And then he explains began Elohim. What does that mean? Not Gan Eden. He explains it differently. Kolomar, meaning to say b'chol ha'olam, the whole world. In the whole world, you go through the entire world, you'll never find cedar trees beautiful like they are in this country. But we see here that the word amamuhu, with an ayin, is talking about diminished. They're not diminished by comparison to any trees around the world. So, therefore, it must be that we spell the word not omamos with an aleph, but omamus with an ayin. Second opinion. So that was all under the first opinion of Yehuda Amar Rav, who said lo ya'usu mamish, that we don't need to literally derive pleasure from it. But Rava argues on this, and he says ya'usu mamish. No, every person has to derive pleasure from those things. Vikama, and how close do you have to be to derive pleasure from it? Amar Ula explains, Kidei sheyakir ben isar lepundion, in order to differentiate between an isar and a pundion. An isar and pundion are two different kinds of coins, and one was much bigger than the other. So you have to be that close to be able to tell the difference. In a totally dark room, could you tell the difference visually? That's how close you have to be. Chizkiah Amar, but Chizkiah is more stringent, and he says, Kidei sheyakir bein meluzma shel Tiveria le meluzma shel Tzipori. You have to differentiate between a meluzma of Tiveria and a meluzma of Tzipori, which are very, very similar kinds of coins. And Rav Yehuda, so those are the two opinions regarding how close you have to be with the coins. Now, into the machlokas again. Again, Rav Yehuda was the first one who said you do not need a benefit literally from the light itself. Rav Yehuda mevarich ivdi, or rather adivei ada dayala. Rav Yehuda would make a bracha for the fire that he found in the house of ada dayala. And Rashi explains, way up at the top, that Rav Yehuda hayam mevarich al or shebabeis ada dayala. He would make the bracha on the fire from the house of ada dayala, verachok mibeso, and it was very far from his own house. Haya. It was very far from his house. Rav Yehuda l'ta'ameh, and Rav Yehuda held like his own opinion, obviously, the lo ba'i samuch, that you don't need to be close to the fire in order to derive benefit from it to make the bracha on that fire. However, Rava, who again would have the opposite opinion, mevarech advei Guria bar Chama. Rava would make the bracha only on the fire of the house of Guria bar Chama. And again, Rashi explains, Rava mevarech advei Guria bar Chama, samuch lebeis haya. It was very close to his house. Rava l'ta'ameh, and Rava meant like his own opinion. The Amar samuch ba'inan, who said you need to be close to the place. And Abaya mevarech adevei bar avuha. Abaya made the bracha on the house of bar avuha, the fire coming from that house. And it's not so clear which opinion he's holding like, but I suppose the person who wrote this Gemara down assumed that you would know who bar avuha is, how close he lived to Abaya. I don't have that information. I'm not sure where that information is, so I'm not sure who he holds like. But he holds like one of them. Or it could be a third opinion. I'm not sure. But be that as it may, this is Rav Yehuda and Rava. We definitely know how they held. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav, Ein machzirin al haor kederech shemachzirin al hamitzvos. We don't have to search for fire on Motzei Shabbos in the same way that you search for various mitzvos to do various mitzvos. And Amar Rav Zera said, Mireish hava mahadrina. At first, I used to go looking very far to find a light to make this bracha on Motzei Shabbos. Kivan deshmana lahad Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Since I heard this teaching of Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, ananami lo mahadrina. I don't search so hard for these fires. Ella I mikla li mimela mevarchina. But if I happen to find such a fire, then mevarchina, I make the bracha over it. And in fact, the examples that we just did yesterday of a person who encounters a child holding a torch, or he goes and he finds a fire here, a fire there. He sees a fire while he's walking past the city, and he sees a fire in the city. It doesn't sound like someone who's really searching so hard to find a fire. It kind of just sounds like a person who just happens to find a fire and makes a bracha on it. So according to Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, it's not so important to really search that hard to find a fire. Now, the question is today, how do we hold? And Rambam brings down a very interesting halachic position based on this Gemara. He says, "Ein mevarchen al haner ad sheyeosu leoro." We do not make a bracha on the candle until you benefit from its light. Kedei sheyakir bein matbea medina zu lematbea medina acheres. Until you can recognize between the coin of one country and the coin of another country. So he doesn't exactly say how similar they have to be, or if they have to be different colors, different shapes, different sizes. But he does say they have to be two coins from two different countries. That's how close you have to be to the fire in order to recognize them visually. Okay, we move on to the next part of the Mishnah that the Gemara is going to analyze right now. Misha achal v'shachach v'lo birech. If somebody ate, forgot, and did not make Birkas Hamazon, Beis Shammai omrim, then according to Beis Shammai, Yachzor limkomo vivarech. He has to go back to the place he ate and make Birkas Hamazon there. Beis Hillel omrim, but according to Beis Hillel, Yivarech b'makom sheniskar. He makes the bracha Birkas Hamazon in the place that he remembered that he ate. Amar Rav Zvid. Rav Zvid says, V'itema Rav Dimi bar Abba. And some say it was Rav Dimi bar Abba. Machlokes b'shakach. The machlokes is regarding someone who forgot to bench. Aval b'mezid, but if someone deliberately left without doing Birkas Hamazon, then divrei hakol, according to everybody, yachzor limkomo vivarech. He has to go back to his place and do Birkas Hamazon. So pshita. So that's obvious. That's already in the words of the Mishnah itself. B'shakach tanan. The Mishnah taught b'shakach, and he forgot to do Birkas Hamazon. So mahadetema, what might I have assumed? That hachihaya filu b'mezid. That it's the case even if he did it b'mezid. The high diktani v'shakach, and the reason the Mishnah taught v'shakach, that he forgot, v'odiacha kochan the Beis Shammai, to teach me how strongly Beis Shammai believed in their position. Meaning to say that Beis Shammai would say that even someone who forgot, he still has to go back to his to the place, and all the more so if he did it on purpose. But Beis Hillel maybe had a more lenient opinion, a much more lenient opinion, and saying even if you got up and left b'mezid, you don't have to return. So kamash malan. Therefore, it taught us v'shakach. No, v'shakach is for everybody. They both hold v'shakach, and b'mezid they agree. Tanya, we learned in a brisa. Amr lehem Beis Hillel Beis Shammai. Beis Hillel said to Beis Shammai, "L'divrechem," according to your position, Misha achal barosh haBechirah. If someone ate at the top of a tower, v'shakach, and he forgot to bench, v'yarad, and he went down to the bottom, v'lo birech, and he did not make Berakhos Hamazon, yachzor l'rosh haBechirah v'yivrach. He would have to go all the way back to the top. He would have to climb all those steps and bench all the way at the top of the tower. And it seems like a valid criticism. Amr lehen Beis Shammai leBeis Hillel. Beis Shammai said right back to Beis Hillel, l'divrechem, according to your position, Misha shakach arniki b'rosh habayis. If somebody forgot a purse full of gold coins at the top of a tower, lo ya'ala v'yatlena. Wouldn't he go back and take it? So therefore what? L'kvod atzmahu oleh, for his own honor, for his own kavod, he would go back and go all the way, climb up to the top of the tower. L'kvod shemayim l'kol shekain. Shouldn't he, for the honor of heaven, shouldn't he do that all the more so? So, and then the Gemara relates a story regarding this very idea. In the trade Talmidei, there were two students. Chad Avid b'shogeg k'Beis Shammai. One accidentally forgot benching, and he did like Beis Shammai. He went back to the original place where he ate, and he went to bench there. He adopted a stricter position on himself, and he went to all that length to go back to the place where he ate to bench. The ashkach arnika de dahava, and there he found a purse filled with gold. The chad, and there was another student, avid b'mezid k'Beis Hillel. He left deliberately the place where he ate, and nevertheless he did like Beis Hillel. He benched in the second place. What happened? The achle aryeh, and a lion ate him. A bit of an extreme story, but nevertheless it kind of gives you the idea that it's better to be stringent on oneself in this halacha for kavod shemayim than to be makil on oneself and kind of blow it off, as they say. Rabba bar bar Chana hava ka'azel b'shayarsa. Similar story with Rabba bar bar Chana, who's traveling with a caravan. Achal v'ashtele v'lo birech. Barich. He ate, he forgot to bench, and they started traveling again. Amar, so he said to himself, Hechi Abid, what should I do? Amina luhu anshai levarech. If I tell them that I forgot to bench, Amrile barech, they'll tell me bench here. Kol hecha de, any place where you bench, l'rachmana mevrachas, you should bench to Hashem. Doesn't matter where you bench. You can bench here. You forgot, hold like Beis Hillel, bench here. Don't go all the way back and bother us like that. So mutav de amina luhu anshai yona de dahava. It's better that I should tell these people that I forgot a golden dove. And therefore we have to go back and retrieve the golden dove. I'll go back and I'll bench and Shalom al Yisrael, as I say. Amr lahu, so he actually told them, Anshurli, wait for me. The Anshay Yona de Zahava, because I forgot my golden dove. Aziel Ubarech, so he went back, he made the Berakhos Hamazon, the Ashkach Yona de Zahava, and he found a golden dove. So a bit of an odd story because he's clearly lying, and as we know, lying is an Isser D'Oraisa. But in this case, I guess it was for the sake of a mitzvah. But the question why this doesn't become a mitzvah machmas Isser, or an avera that comes through a mitzvah that comes through an avera, why was that permitted? And not so clear at all, and very complicated. So yeah. Nevertheless, this is the story, and this is he held like Beis Shammai, went back all the way where he had forgotten to bench, and there he found the golden dove, clearly rewarded for what he had done. Umayshna Yona, and why did they teach us about a Yona? Why did he say I forgot a golden dove? Why not golden anything else? Why not gold purse? Answer: the Mesilai Knesset Yisrael Yona, because the Knesset Yisrael, the nation of Israel, are compared to a dove. The Chsiv, as it says in the pasuk in Tehillim, Kanfe Yona nechpa bekesef, that the wings of the dove are covered like nechbas, like chuppah, are covered with silver. The evroseha, the rakrak charutz, and her limbs or avarim are with shiny gold. So now the comparison: Ma yona einu nitzolas ela b'knafeha, just like a dove is not saved except through her doves. Af Yisrael eino nitzolin ela b'mitzvos. So too, Israel is not saved except through their mitzvos. So going back a little bit to the previous discussion, there was one incredible source that I forgot to bring up, but I think it's important to bring it up now. Back we were talking about the idea of looking in a flame on Havdalah and comparing two coins, and that's how close you have to be in order to make the bracha on the fire. Nowadays, we know from Havdalah that the general minhag is not to look at coins, but to look at one's fingernails. And so why is that the custom? There's a very interesting reason given in the Meiri. And we're going to go through this reason, but before, very interesting, the person of the Meiri was such a fascinating individual, can't not talk about him for a minute. He was born around the 1250s, middle of the 13th century. And he wrote a lot. He was super prolific. He wrote on the entire Talmud, on Talmud Bavli, and on much of the Mishnah. And his intention was to write in very simple Hebrew, and to basically do what the Rambam had done for halacha, in terms of laying it out in a clear, systematic, simple to read Hebrew language fashion. And he wanted to do the same thing for the Talmud. And he composed the Beis haBechirah. Now, the Beis haBechirah, or at least most of it, was lost for a very long time. As I said, he was a lot living in the 1250 to about 1310, around that time. And most of it was lost. It was rediscovered, and in 1920 was republished. So really, for much of Jewish history, a lot of the Meiri was not learned, was not discussed. They didn't have access to it. And there is some historical questions whether it was lost or whether it was deliberately hidden, because he had some pretty extreme views. One of his views, which he probably got a lot of people who didn't like it, and one of them, modern Jewish figure, was the Chassam Sofer. He thought there's no way the Meiri actually said this opinion, but nevertheless it's clear that the Meiri did hold this opinion, was that that nowadays there is no such thing as avodah zarah, that modern day Christians and Muslims completely not in any way ovdei avodah zarah. They're totally not idolaters, and in some places he even implies that people, non-Jews who are Christians or Muslims, are even better than non-Jews who keep only the Sheva Mitzvos B'nai Noach. So he had a very pluralistic understanding. In some places he understood the term achecha, your brothers, to refer to these non-Jews. And a very interesting person, and a lot to say about him. He referred to Rashi as the greatest of the rabbis. He referred to the Rif as the greatest of the poskim. The Gedolei HaPoskim. He referred to the Rambam as the Gedolei HaMechabrim, the greatest author. The Rimigash as one of the most genius person from Spain, and the Rashbam as the most wise person from France. So he had these nicknames that he gave the Rabbanim that he really, really liked, the Rishonim that he really identified with, and he was super, super into Rambam. And he was very prolific, and he is the first source we have who describes Lag BaOmer as the day in which we stop mourning during Sfira. So Lag BaOmer, the first time it's mentioned, is in a Machzor Vitri, which was published in 1175. Meiri in the 1200s comes along and explains that Lag BaOmer is the day where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's students stop dying. And that's the Makor pretty late in Jewish history, only in the 1200s. But that's the source for that custom. And here he's going to talk about the idea of looking at your fingernails during Havdalah. Very interesting character. If you want to look him up. And of course, many of his positions are defined by the era he lived in. He lived in Catalan, which is a part of Spain. He was a very high-ranking official. Very interesting life story. Not to get too much into it right now. So he says here, Mikol Makom, in any case, halacha karava. The halacha is like Rava, the Usu Mamish, that you have to actually derive pleasure from the fire. It's not enough that the fire is possible to derive pleasure. You have to actually derive pleasure from this fire. V'achshav, and now, Nahagu lishtamish la'ora. It is we are customary. It is the custom to derive benefit from the fire. Mikodem, from before you make the bracha. Ulistakel b'tziparnayim, and to look at a person's fingernails. The yira hata'am mitoch sheshir yausu laoro. And it seems to me that the reason is because the measure of benefit they have to get from the fire, who have chana ben shnei devarim. It's the measurement, how you define pleasure from light, is to be able to tell a difference between two very similar things. And this pashet haminhag, this minhag has spread around, l'istako behem, to look at these fingers, kedei lahavchin bein tziporen labasar, in order to differentiate between the fingernail and the skin. U'le'elu shekofafim etzba'osehem lahavchin bein tzal she'atzba'os l'tzal sha'ar mikomos. And some turn their fingers, to differentiate between the shade of their fingers to the shade of other places. Other places on the hands. And in the responsa of the earlier people, probably in the Geonim, Matsinu Hatam, we find the reason for this minhag. Because these are things the great thing is found in them, and Lisimon Tov, and for very good sign for people. Osin Kane, they do this. Ubishem midrashos, in the name of certain midrashos. Shemanu, I've heard. Shekodem shechet Adam Harishon, before the sin of Adam Harishon. Hayakol oro doma litziporen. His entire skin was similar to what we would call nails. So his entire skin was kind of like that texture. Ukeshachata, but when he sinned, havshitu mimenu, it was taken away from him. V'lo hishir lo mimenu ela baroshe etzba'osav, and this type of skin only remained on the tips of his fingers, like we have today in our fingernails. Ukeshen nivra ha'or b'motei Shabbos, and when the fire was created on Motei Shabbos, nistakel bo, he looked at his fingers, and he saw shenish arlo mimenu, and that he saw that he had this little bit of fingernail remaining at that part of his body. The samach, and he was very happy. Umitoch kach, and because of this, nagul histakel b'tziporen, we are noheg to look at the fingernail. V'yesh bazeh ha'ara l'mavinim, and this serves as a teaching to those who understand. It's a very interesting halacha by the Meiri, and also a very interesting person, and hopefully somebody we will quote and we will look at more and more in the future in this series. Okay. Next part of the Gemara goes into the next part of the Mishnah, which is as follows: Me'ad emasai mevarech. How long does a person have to bench Birkas Hamazon if he forgot to bench? Ad kadesh yes achel hamazon shebemeyav, until this food is digested in his stomach. So kama shiur achol, what is the time, or what is the measurement of digestion? How long does the person have? Amar Rav Yochanan said, Kol zman she'eino ra'av, as long as he is not hungry after the meal. Reish Lakish Amar, Reish Lakish said, Kol zman she'yitzame machmas achilaso, all the time that he is thirsty after his meal. Now that's very interesting, because a person would seem to get more and more and more thirsty as time goes on, as opposed to hungry. A person would get or satisfied. A person would get less and less satisfied. So according to Rav Yochanan, this makes perfect sense. Once you feel hungry again, the time's up. But according to Reish Lakish, you would feel more and more thirsty as time would go on, and you should be able to bench forever, according to that answer. So I don't understand what Reish Lakish is saying here. But nevertheless, the machlokas between Rav Yochanan and his brother-in-law Reish Lakish, who also have a very interesting history, but not to get too bogged down by these stories. Amar le Rav Yemar bar Shalmaya or Shlamya le Marzutra. Rav Yemar, the son of Shlamya, said to Marzutra, Va'amri la Rav Yemar bar Shizbi le Marzutra. Some say it was Rav Yemar bar Shizbi who said to Marzutra, Mi Amar Reish Lakish Hachi. Did Reish Lakish really say this? Va'amar Rav Ami Amar Reish Lakish. Rav Ami said in the name of Reish Lakish, Kama shir achol, what is the time of digestion? Kidei lahalich ad bramilin. In order to, you have to be able to walk the distance of 4 milin. So what's a mil? A mil is 2,000 amos, and there are 3 general opinions how long it takes to walk a mil. It's either 18 or 22.5 or 24 minutes in modern counting. So 4 mil total would be either 72 minutes, 90 minutes, or 96 minutes. But there we have the zman, the time, 72 minutes. Where it comes from right here. 4 milin, according to the shortest opinion regarding a meal, is 72 minutes long. So what does Reish Lakish hold? Does he hold the time it takes to walk 4 milin, or the time it takes to be not thirsty after a meal? Lo kasha, not a question. Kan ba'achila maruba. One is referring to a small meal, a big meal. The kan ba'achila mu'atas. And this one is talking about a very small meal. And one opinion, which is longer, is a big meal, and the other opinion is a short meal. There is a machlokas which opinion refers to which one, whether 4 milin is the big meal or the small meal, and whether getting thirsty again is the small or the big meal. But for those who want to see more, look in Tosfos and in Rashi and other places. We go on to the Gemara, which goes into the next part of the Mishnah. And this part of the Mishnah will take us all the way to the end of the Perek. You can feel that already. Here we go. Balahem yayin achar hamazon. If people were brought wine after the meal, im ein sham ela osokos. If they only have that one cup of wine, Beis Shammai omrim, then according to Beis Shammai, mevarich al yayin. First you make the bracha on the wine, va'achar kach mevarich al hamazon, and then you make the bracha of birkas hamazon. Beis Hillel omrim, but according to Beis Hillel, mevarich al hamazon. First you do birkas hamazon, va'achar kach mevarich al yayin, and then you make the bracha on the wine. In fact, that's actually what we do today. The onin amen achar Yisrael hamavarich. We say an amen after a Jew who makes a bracha. The ein onin amen achar kusi hamavarich. We don't say an amen after a Samaritan who makes a bracha. Ad sheyishma kol habracha kula, until we hear the entire bracha that he said. And now we're going to discuss this in the Mishnah, in the Gemara. Limemra. So this must mean to say the Yisrael that we're talking about a Yisrael, Afral Gav, Delo Shama Bracha, even if you did not hear the entire bracha, then Ona, you still have to say Amen. V'chilo Shama, Hechinafik. But if you haven't heard him say the whole bracha, how have you fulfilled your obligation? Because we are considering that this is a person who's sitting down for Birkas Hamazon. He has to hear the entire bracha of the person who's saying Birkas Hamazon in order to have personal fulfillment of the requirement for the obligation. In fact, comes along the Rambam and he says, Kol shomea bracha min habrachos min chilas avyad sofa. Whoever hears a bracha from the beginning until the end, the person that hears the entire bracha that was said by the person making it, and he had in mind to fulfill his obligation, yatsa, then he fulfilled his obligation, va'afapi shelo ana amin, even if he didn't say amen. And the Rambam goes on, v'chol ha'ona amen achar mevarich. Whoever says amen after someone who makes the bracha, harei zeh kim mevarich. It's as if he made the bracha himself. V'hu sheyeh ha'mevarich chayav b'os bracha. But that only applies if the person making the bracha was obligated to make that bracha himself. Haya ha'mevarich chayav midivrei sofrim. If the person making the bracha was chayav to make the bracha only from a rabbinic perspective, such as if he already heard the bracha and is now only making it a second time, this becomes very problematic. For example, with a person who hears a bracha in shul, then goes home to say it for his wife. The wife may have a obligation for Minatorah, but the husband already heard in shul, and he already fulfilled his obligation Minatorah. Now it's only Derabanan. So lots of what's discussed there regarding the halachos regarding that. Nevertheless, it goes on. The ona chayiv Minatorah, and if the one who says amen is chayiv Minatorah, then lo yatsi yidei chavaso. They have not fulfilled their obligation. Ad sheya'aneh, until they answer amen, o ad sheyishma mishu chayav ba minatorah kamohu, or until he hears from someone who is chayav minatorah to make that bracha kamohu, just like him. Rambam says 2 halachos later, kol hashomea echad miyisrael mivarech bracha mikol brachos kulan. If anyone hears the Jew making any bracha, it doesn't matter which one it is. Afal pish lo shama habracha kula, even if he did not hear the whole bracha, min chilas avyad sofa, and from beginning to end. V'afal pish eino chayev bosa bracha, and even if he is not chayev to hear that, to make that bracha, chayav la'anos amen. You have to say amen regardless. So, but here we have a question: how can a person be fulfilled in his obligation to bench if he did not hear the entire bracha? This is the question of the Gemara. Amar Chia Barav. Chia Barav says, Bishalo achal imahem. We're talking about a case where a person did not eat with them. V'chein Amar Rav Nachman Amar Rabbi Bar Avuha, and Rav Nachman said in the name of Rabbi Bar Avuha, Bishalo achal imahem. if he did not eat with them, he himself does not have an obligation to bench, but he hears them benching and he only heard part of the bracha, he only heard the end of the bracha, he should still say Amen after the bracha. Amar le Rav Chia, Amar le Rav Lechia Bere. Rav said to Chia, his son, Bri, my son, Chatuf ubrich, grab the cup of wine and make the bracha. Meaning it's better that you shouldn't be the one who makes the bracha rather than saying Amen. Saying the bracha is doing the mitzvah in a better way. V'chein Amar Rav Huna l'Rabba Bere, and Rav Huna said the same thing to Rabba, his son, Chatuf ubarich, grab it and make the bracha. So limimra, it means to say the mevarich adif miman da'ani amen. The one who makes the bracha is better than the one who answers amen. However, v'atanya, we learned in a braysa, Rav Yossi Omer, Rav Yossi says, Gadol ha'ona amen, Yoser min ha'mevarich. The one who says amen is better than the one who makes the bracha. So which is it? Amar le, so Rav Nehorai, and Rav Nehorai said to him, Hashemayim kenu. By Shemayim, that's correct. It's better to say Amen, better than making the bracha. Why? Teda, because you should know, Sheharei Gularion Yordan Umizgaran B'Machama, that the regular soldiers go down and they fight the big battle. The Giborim Yordan Uminatzchin, and the strong heroes, they wait and they go down at the end and then they win. So really the ones who finish the bracha with the Amen are similar to the Giborim, to the heroes at the end of the war. And the one who makes the bracha is only like the common foot soldier who kind of goes in the beginning to clear the path for the big, mighty soldiers to go in and finish the war. So what's the answer? Which is more important, making the bracha or saying Amen? Which is better? So Tanaihi, it is a machlokas tanaim. The Tanya, as we learned in a braysa, echad ha'mavarach ve'echad ha'ana Amen. B'mashma, that both the person who makes the bracha and the person who says Amen are implied. Ela shememaharin l'mevarich, but the person who hurries to make the bracha, yoter min ha'ona Amen. That is better than the person who makes the Amen. So Tanaim hold both sides of this opinion, and therefore the Amoraim, some held like those Tanaim, some held like the other Tanaim. Ba'amine Shmuel mirav. Shmuel asked Rav, Mahu la'anos Amen achar tinokos shalbeis Rabban. What's the halacha regarding saying Amen after tinokos, the little children shalbeis Rabban, who are still in yeshiva, still learning, still growing in their halachic development? Amar Lein, he told him, Achar hakol onin Amen. You should say Amen after everybody, chutz mitinokos shalbeis Rabban, except for children in the house of their rabbi, meaning in their yeshiva. Why? Ha'il v'his lamed asiyan, since they are only making the bracha to learn. They're not actually doing a real bracha. So Rambam comes along and he says exactly this, but he adds a few other people to who we don't say Amen to. Im hayim mevarech akum, an idolater, if an idolater makes a bracha, o apikoros, or a heretic, o kusi, or a Samaritan, o tinok, or a child, hamis lamed, who is currently learning, o shahaya gadol, or if it was a full-grown Jew, v'shina mimad be'ah habracha, but he changed the text of the bracha, ein onin achrein Amen. We don't answer Amen to these brachos. And he goes on two halachos after that. In Hilchos Brachos, Perek Aleph, halacha tezvav, kol hamavarech bracha she'ena tzricha, whoever makes a bracha which is not necessary, hareza nos hashem shemayim lashav. It's as if he swore falsely in God's name. V'arehu kanishba lashav, and it's as if he swore falsely. V'asr la'anos acharav Amen. It's forbidden to say Amen after him. Hatinokos melamdinos an brachos. We teach small children the brachos, kitikunan, to say them properly. V'afal pi she'en mevarchim levatala, even though they're technically saying a bracha levatala, b'sh'as limud hareza muter. In the time of teaching, that's permitted. Ve'ein onin achreyan Amen. But we don't say Amen after their bracha. Ve'ona achreyan Amen. But if somebody did answer Amen after their bracha, lo yatsa yidei chavasa, would not fulfill his own obligation if he had to make the bracha himself. The Hanimili, and this teaching regarding when we don't respond Amen to a child's bracha, bidelo idan maftaraihu. It's when it's not their time to read from the Haftorah. Aval be'idan maftaraihu onin. But if they do read from the Haftorah, then we do answer from them. And indeed, when I was in yeshiva, one of my rebbeim's children used to get up every Shabbos afternoon in the Tivarye, and he was, I think, 9 or 8 or even 10 years old at the time, and he would read the Haftorah, and we would say Amen after his bracha and everything, we would do it like that. So this is a halacha l'maisa, that a child can get up and read the Haftorah, and we can respond Amen after his bracha and be fulfilled with his bracha during that specific case. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Shemen ma'akiv es bracha, that oil prevents someone from making the bracha, meaning you cannot make brachos until you rub oil on your hands to clean them, kind of like hand sanitizer. First you have to clean your hands, and only then you can make the bracha. Divrei Rab Zilai, that's according to Rab Zilai. Rabbi Zivai Omar, Rabbi Zivai says, and these are very strange names, I haven't really encountered these names anywhere else, I'm not sure where they come from, but according to Rab Zivai, Eino ma'akev, it does not hold you back. You can make the bracha even before you clean your hands with that oil. Rabbi Acha Omer, and Rabbi Acha says, Shemen tov ma'akev, very good oil, that's ma'akev the bracha. So you need to, if a person generally does clean his hands with very good oil, he would not be allowed to make the bracha until he rubbed his hands with very good oil. Rav Zuhamai Omer, according to Rav Zuhamai, and this is a noteworthy name because Zuhama literally means filth or disgustingness. So this is Rav Zuhamai, and he's going to give halacha now about Zuhama. So Rav Zuhamai says, Kishem shemazuheim pasol la'avoda, just like a person who's very sweaty and gross is pasol for service in the Beis HaMikdash, kach yadayim mizuhamos psulas l'bracha. Similarly, hands that are very gross are pasul for making brachos. Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says, Ana lo zilai v'lo zivai v'lo zuhamai yadana. I don't know these people zilai, I don't know zivai, I don't know zuhamai, I don't know these people. Ela masnisa yadana. But I do know the following Mishnah. The Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, as Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav, Amri Lav masnisa tana, and others say that we taught it in a Mishnah. Viz kadashtem elu mayim rishonim. The term viz kadashtem in Vayikra refers to mayim rishonim. V'yisem kadoshim elu mayim achronim. And the term v'yisem kadoshim, you should be holy, are mayim achronim. Ki kadosh zeh shemen, that's oil. Ani Hashem alkechem, and I am Hashem your God. Zu bracha, that's bracha. So the pasuk they're quoting is either one of two pasukim: Viz kadashtem, v'yisem kadoshim, ki kadosh ani, and then ani Hashem alkechem, which is weird because it goes out of order. But nevertheless, that's one potential pasuk they're quoting from Vayikra Yud Aleph, pasuk Mem Dalin. And the other pasuk they could be quoting is from Vayikra Chaf, pasuk Zayin, V'his Kadishtem, then V'isem Kadoshim, and then it skips the middle clause of Ki Kadosh. It does not say that in this pasuk, but it does end. It puts Ani Hashem Elokechem in the right order. So that might also be the pasuk that they're referring to here. And with that, we have finished the entire Parak Ches. Very, very proud whoever made it this far. And I hope that was clear. And I also hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful